All right, this is the book I'm talking about. Welcome to the program. I'm Rebecca Rainier. Just like the song says, I'm so glad you're here. This book had me laughing. I didn't quite laugh my abs off. I don't think they'll come off. But this book has the same philosophy as I do. If you have to diet, you might as well have a riot. We spent some time this week with Tim Wilkins, the very funny author who helps us lighten up when we're lightening up. Okay, so here is the book, Laugh Your Abs Off, and someone who owns the Twitter handle Laugh It Off, of course, was a natural, I guess, perfect reader for this book. Tim, what gave the idea? I know what gives me the idea, but what gave the idea where humor is really a key part to losing weight?
Well, this is really a diet book for people who hate dieting, which is pretty much everybody. So I figured since laughter is the best medicine, I would scoop some of that in with the protein powder and help the medicine go down a little easier.
All right, so the very first thing is forget what you know. What kind of myths do you think are out there that are making it harder for us?
Well, everybody has something they think works, like I'll just switch to diet sodas, and they forget that that diet soda is washing down a double bacon cheeseburger and a large fry. Or I just won't eat. That's one of my favorites. And what that does is sends your body into hibernation mode. And if you've ever seen the butt on a bear, you know that's not the way you want to go.
Very true. Never thought of it that way. So you kind of take some of these things that we all tell ourselves and kind of bust them open and let us see that we're fooling ourselves.
That's the premise of the book, is really to make everything we think and know and have fallen for years funny, diffuse it, unravel it, and then give you a little tip at the end so you can take away something that actually works with a better spirit. People need to go into this with a much better mindset than they normally do.
And your background is, I mean, you have done this kind of thing for a while. You've taken some of these things that we find to be painful, which are diet and exercise, and you give it that fun spin.
I've been writing for magazines like Muscle and Fitness and Flex and Natural Muscle for years, and hosting bodybuilding and fitness shows. And one of the things that's always been fun is to take a room full of just hardcore, crazy devotees and make them all laugh at the absurdity of what they're doing. And the average American, on the other hand, could care less. And if I can make them laugh and bring them over to the dark side, we can all live a lot healthier.
Well, now when you talk about, I'm looking, just kind of going from the chapters, and I've read a little bit of it. I haven't read the whole thing yet, but you say you are a proponent of taking it off slow, and it says take it off real slow. What do you mean? What's like reasonable for us when we're trying to diet?
That's almost that Barry White feel, that, oh yeah, baby, real slow. Take it off a pound. Your body's going to tell you what it is. Of course, it's always going to come off thunderous that first 2 weeks. It's 8 to 12 to 15 pounds. But after that, understand it may slow down to a half a pound to a pound every week to 2 weeks. But just keep making progress forward. And after a while, you'll look up in 20 weeks, you're down 20 pounds. That's huge. It didn't come on overnight. It's not going to come off overnight.
What is your recommendation when it comes to diet? This is, to me, what I write a lot about this, that every day there's a different idea. Low carb, low fat, low calorie, low sugar, I mean, what are we supposed to do?
Well, if the fad diets worked, I'd still be wearing, or fads in general, I'd still be wearing zipper pants and a Michael Jackson glove with a Pat Rock in my shorts. Do what comes natural. First, I always tell everybody, write it down, journal, and write down everything, not just what you eat, but what you drink, because we forget about how much calories are in the drinks, like these cookie chinos we're all drinking. We go to these places with the coffee, we spend $8, they crunch up some Oreos, some ice cream, and some coffee over the top, and we forget about those 800 calories. Mm-hmm. I suggest you write down your drinks. I suggest you drink water, a lot more water. It'll not only help speed up your metabolism, but the extra walks to the bathroom will burn calories. Eat more veggies and take your time. Eat slower. It's not a UN food drop. All those things will signal to your body to eat better, eat wiser, and map out your meals. Think a day or two or even a few hours in advance, because if not, we eat like we're in a clock tower. We call to the police and say, send a pizza.
That's the truth. That's the truth. I always feel like there might not be more food. There's always more food. Relax. Right? You can get more if you need it.
You can get more. Eat more vegetables. It'll fill you up. I always suggest that make little moves. That's the biggest thing. We all try to make these sweeping moves. We end up on these diets like we're on Survivor Island. We need to take into account our body's not ready to make those moves. Little things every day, good decisions. And at the end, you'll wake up and say, hey, well, I'm actually feeling a lot better too.
So finally, the biggest problem is we do go into this with great intentions, and everyone's all gung-ho in the beginning. The first time I get a diet book, I'm like, oh, I'm doing this. But you have a little bit of advice here too on how to stick with it. It's not that first week, it's the next week and the week after. How do we stick with it?
Well, again, it's over time. If we fall for these fads like the grapefruit diet, the cabbage soup diet, where you won't lose weight, you'll lose friends. The carbohydrate addicts diet, where it's like we're junkies out in the street begging for carbs. People are coming out of the theater. We're going, yo, man, you got any pasta? We're not addicts. We're people. Make little moves. Understand you're going to fall off the wagon. Give yourself a cheat day. I don't know if you talk about that. When I wrote that first chapter, my wife was not happy seeing cheat day on the top of a piece of paper. But do really great for 6 days and treat yourself on Saturday. Do really great for 10 days, treat yourself on Thursday. Just take it slow and eat right. More veggies, more lean meats, and just live.
All right, so let's find out how we can get a hold of Laugh Your Abs Off. How can people, we've got millions of viewers in hundreds of towns. Well, not that many, but how can we get a hold of your book?
Aside from the copies that are in my trunk, Amazon, iTunes, Barnes & Noble, it's on Kindle, there's paperbacks. It's been on and off the bestseller list, so somebody somewhere is reading it. My mom only has one Kindle. Go online and find it at your favorite retailer.
Excellent. All right, and like I said, I highly recommend it. This is my whole philosophy when it comes to weight loss, because we naturally move away from things that we don't like. And when we make diet and fitness the worst part of our day, we're not going to stick with it. So I love your idea of laughing, because that's my whole game.
Laugh it off. That's your Twitter handle.
That's who I am to my soul. All right. Thank you so much, Tim, for spending the time with us this morning. And I highly recommend take a look at Laugh Your Abs Off, because if you got a diet, you might as well have a riot, right?
Thanks for having me, Rebecca. Yep, that's it.
All right. Thanks, Tim. See, it's not that bad. We can all get through this together with a little bit of levity. All right, when we come back, we're going to make those family videos look a little bit better. Take it up a notch. Stay with us.